Now, I know, right? Someone just promised XRP would blast past $400 in the next 4 weeks. I almost choked on my coffee. So let's pull back that curtain. Okay, picture this. You're scrolling X at midnight, half awake, when a flashy post pops up. Forbes says XRP hitting $200 to $400 by next month. Your heart does that little crypto kind of degen flutter, and for a split second you see yachts, private islands, and maybe a gold-plated ledger. But then reality kind of taps you on the shoulder and whispers, hold up, did Forbes actually say that? And spoiler alert, no. Right? Yet the kind of tweets racking up faster than a meme coin chart, and suddenly your group chats are buzzing with dreams of overnight riches. That, my friend, is exactly how misinformation sinks its hooks and reels in an entire community. So here's the story of how a phantom Forbes headline snowballed into one of the wildest price rumors the XRP crowd has seen in ages. Why even seasoned holders fell for it, and how a handful of no-nonsense voices led by an analyst called All Things Crypto decided enough was enough. I'm going to walk you through every twist, the hope, the hype, the hard math, and of course, the bigger lesson about guarding your feed like it's kind of your seed phrase, right? We're also going to dig into those triple-digit price fantasies, $99, $100, and even $400, and see whether they're actually the rocket fuel or rocket-shaped hot air. And at least once, I'm going to kind of rant lovingly about how you can avoid future FOMO disasters by hanging out in our free crypto Discord. There's a link in the description. Now, slide in anytime and keep your kind of sanity intact. Okay, let's rewind to the rumor's big bang then, right? It starts with a screenshot. You know the kind, right? The Forbes logo slapped on a kind of dark mode background. A headline in bold, XRP poised to reach $200 to $400 within just 4 weeks. And analysts say no article link, no author name, no date, just a digital ransom note begging to be shared. And share it did. Telegram groups, TikTok clips, Instagram reels with dramatic music all echoing the same juicy promise. The easiest clickbait recipe ever, sprinkling a little bit of authority, Forbes, and uncertainty, or in fact urgency, 4 weeks, top of kind of life-changing numbers, and voila, viral stew. Enter All Things XRP, a commentator who spent years debunking tall tales in the ecosystem. Now he spots the screenshot, does a quick search, finds nothing on Forbes, and posts a blunt call-out. You're hurting the XRP community with fake predictions. Now, he's not mad about optimism. He's mad about lazy hype. Now, in his own words, people are tired of baseless excitement and now kind of crave depth, accuracy, and effort. The translation here is quite simple. Quit feeding us empty calories, right? Give us real nutrition. And honestly, I felt that. Right, crypto Twitter, it often feels like a carnival dunk tank, right? Everybody's throwing takes, but nobody's actually checking to see if there's water in the tub. Now, All Things XRP's post should have actually ended the saga, but social media is a bit like that magical broom in Fantasia, right? You chop it, or at least chop off the handle, and 2 more grow back. Right? So the rumor just kept slithering along, morphing into TikTok voiceovers and shiny thumbnails screaming last chance before 400x. Right? People tagged their friends, their cousins, even that skeptical kind of coworker who still thinks blockchain is some kind of Lego set. Right? And why wouldn't they, right? The numbers are so ridiculous, right? If you bought $1,000 of XRP today and it did a 400x, well, you'd be staring at a potential early retirement, right? Reality rarely stands a chance against the daydream. But let's do a reality check on those numbers, because math may be boring, but bankruptcy, it's even worse. Right? XRP's current market cap, it hovers around $136 billion. For XRP to hit even $100, you're talking about a nearly $6 trillion market cap. That's roughly the GDP of Japan. For $400, you can multiply that by 4. Now, unless, of course, we suddenly live in a simulation where every central bank, Fortune 500 company, and my grandma's bingo club starts dumping their entire treasury into XRP tomorrow, that kind of valuation is, at least in 1 month is, well, science fictional, right? It's absolutely bonkers. Still, optimism, it is not illegal. Now, earlier this year, you had analyst, 𝗕𝗘𝗪𝗔𝗥𝗘, laid out a very detailed chart pattern suggesting a run towards $99 by the end of the cycle. Now, that's a 4,800% hop. It's pretty huge, but at least he kind of showed his homework, right? Fractals, Fibonacci levels, historical volume, right? Some agreed, some rolled their eyes, but the debate was actually healthy, right? Then American wealth mentor, right, Linda Jones, chimed in with a kind of tasty what if, right? One day a $100 bill might only buy you a single XRP. Now, she didn't give a timeline, but, she kind of planted the seed. Ambition isn't the villain here. It's kind of when ambition refuses to shake hands with probability. So why do fake headlines spread faster than facts then? Well, it's partly because the crypto space is a pressure cooker of dreams, right? Every holder remembers that one friend who made life-changing money on Doge or Shiba Inu, right? We kind of keep hoping that lightning strikes twice, and rumors are basically storm clouds kind of painted with neon arrows. We chase them, right? Plus, algorithms reward engagement, not accuracy, right? A sober kind of XRP could see gradual appreciation under favorable macro conditions will never outperform Forbes confirms XRP to $400 in the kind of dopamine kind of Olympics. But there's another layer. Influencers, right? Some creators see subscriber spikes when they kind of peddle moonshots, right? Views equal ad revenue equals rent. So the temptation then is quite real. Now, All Things XRP threw down a challenge to those folks, right? Because before you hit post, ask yourself this. Will my audience be smarter, more informed, or better off? If the answer is no, step away from the keyboard. Right now, co-founder of Andorras kind of finance echoed it, right? Urging the kind of community to focus on real XRPL and DeFi developments, right? Instead of fortune cookie kind of price calls. 𝗕𝗘𝗪𝗔𝗥𝗘 added her kind of signature bluntness to this, right? Urging people to confront internal misinformation, like the kind of persistent myth that XRP is automatically tied to ISO 20022 standards. Right? Consensus among the adults in the room is that, credibility kind of beats clickbait every single time. So let me pause and get personal then, because back in 2017, I bought a small cap altcoin because Telegram guru swore it was days from an exclusive fortune feature. Now, the feature never came, the coin crashed 90%, and my wallet looked like a desert after a tumbleweed parade. Now that sting, it turned me into a research junkie, right? When I kind of smell hype now, I triple check everything, right? Source documents, time-stamped articles, blockchain data. I'm basically the crypto version of your mum asking, did you pack a jacket? And before you kind of leave the house. Now, annoying maybe, but you'll thank me when the temperature drops. And that is why our free crypto Discord exists, right? It's like a digital coffee shop where skepticism is cool and asking, got a kind of source is kind of standard, right? So pop in via the link in the description down below, share a rumor, and 10 digital obsessed members will dissect it quicker than you can say unrealized gains. Now, we don't promise moon Lambos kind of timelines, just honest conversations, charts, and the occasional meme roast session, right? If nothing else, it's cheaper than therapy after a bad trade. Now, let's chase the big question, right? Could XRP ever see 3 digits? Long term, maybe. Right, tech-wise, the XRP ledger is fast and battle-tested. Ripple's pushing for institutional corridors and regulatory clarity is inching forward. If cross-border payments just captures a chunk of Swift's trillions, a serious price increase isn't science fiction. But timelines, they actually do matter, right? Telegon projects, right, that $100 in 15 years. That's believable if we at least if the entire crypto market grows and Ripple's executes, flawlessly. A 4-week window? Well, that's like expecting a sapling to become a redwood, before summer's even over. Right? Growth needs time, it needs money, and a sprinkle of macro fairy dust. Now here is where the story hits its climax. After about a week of viral madness, someone finally emailed Forbes' press office. The response? We published no such analysis. Snap. The bubble pops. Screenshots get deleted. Influencers issue half-hearted my bad tweets. And the comment sections fill with facepalm emojis, right? The rumors corpse drifts off into the endless scroll. But the damage lingers. Newcomers who bought the hype are left holding pricey bags, wondering why their charts didn't bend to the internet magic. And that's the heartbreak, right? Misinformation, it doesn't waste any bandwidth. It empties wallets and erodes trust, right? Every time a fake headline explodes, a little credibility leaks out of the crypto space. Regulators, they take notes. Mainstream media write smug think pieces, and legit builders have to work twice as hard to prove the ecosystem isn't just digital Las Vegas. So, what's the takeaway? Well, first, treat every epic claim like raw chicken. Handle with care, wash your hands, verify cooking temperatures. Second, right? Follow voices that value nuance over noise, right? They might not promise you a yacht, but they will at least keep you afloat. And then third, right? Remember that compound knowledge, it beats compound hype, right? If you can spend 10 minutes fact checking today, you might save 10 months of regret tomorrow. Now, before I wrap up, let's zoom out to the wider picture, right? Crypto is not a lottery ticket. It's an experiment in re-engineering finance, right? Real value, it comes from adoption, comes from partnerships, and it comes from real-world problem solving, not just wishful tweets. Right? XRP's future, whether it's $1 or $100, it hinges on utility, right? Banks using on-demand liquidity, developers building on the XRPL sidechains, institutions trusting RippleNet, right? Price is a lagging indicator, right? Product market fit is the engine under the hood. So keep your eyes on the engine. All right, deep breath, right? We trekked through the fake Forbes headline, the triple-digit fantasies, the cold, hard market cap math, right? And a chorus of community watchdogs. Hopefully, you're stepping away smarter, not just sleepier, right? If this saved you from aping into a rumor, then mission accomplished.